Doctor Who Flux episode 6, was it good? Yes and no. Yes and no. There's a lot of good elements. Jodie Whittaker, killing it. Very much killing it. Then you have 3 doctors, and then you have, it almost feels like a repeat of Journey's End with David Tennant, where all the companions, all the villains in this story comes together after all these years of David Tennant. But the problem is, well, with David Tennant, it was a payoff. It was a storyline constantly built up over the series that led to this 2-part big special that paid off. This was a 6-episode miniseries that really did. I didn't feel the wow factor, didn't feel the excitement. I didn't feel the payoff that I got with David Tennant and that whole run with all the companions around the TARDIS console and just all of them having a role in the plan and all. And even then, David Tennant was, I mean, there was 2 versions of him because he put himself in that hand and calls the Doctor 2.0. But with Jodie Whittaker, her mind or body is fractured, and then they meet together, and it just doesn't pay off. It doesn't work as well as it did with David Tennant. And that's where I have a big problem with tonight's episode. The build-up. You built up. There was a lot of questions, even with last week's episode. Just how are you going to answer all those questions? And you kind of did, kind of didn't. Time was swarm, and then it turned into the Doctor's form and is coming after the Doctor, much like the drums were coming after David Tennant. I'm not sure how to feel. You have the Doctor basically committing genocide again with with the Sontarans. The Sontarans committed genocide on the Daleks and the Cybermen. Like, is this Doctor, like, going forward, is the Doctor going to have that on her shoulders going forward? Sort of like a reboot of the reboot? Like, are we going to get, like, the War Doctor mentality again? All these questions have been placed upon us after a 6-part miniseries. We got 3 specials. Not sure how they're going to touch upon things. The Dalek kind of New Year's Eve special, it just kind of feels like a special. It doesn't feel like it's attached to this in any way. The Doctor dropped her fob watch down in the TARDIS. So, like I said, where do we go from here? You opened up a lot of questions. You didn't really answer many questions. You opened more than you answered. And I know that tends to be a Doctor Who thing, but when you're wrapping up on an era like Jodie Whittaker, like Peter Capaldi, like, you wrap things up. Kate Stewart was fantastic. I loved that. I loved a lot. Jericho. Oh, that was heartbreaking because I love Jericho. Jericho was only on Doctor Who for 2 episodes, and I absolutely fell in love with his character. Like, I was on the edge of my seat, like, okay, what's gonna happen next? Where are we going? Like, this episode, the pacing was excellent, cinematography excellent, story, like, you're getting moments of payoff with the whole reunion and finding out, yeah, she is, like, we know she's pregnant, but, like, now he knows. Doctor knows that she's pregnant, and you're getting a lot of these little payoffs, but the big payoffs are not there. More questions are being answered. Swarming off for be such a menacing, like, hard villain kind of just died. Like, it just gone. It wasn't satisfying. It was not satisfying. That was sort of the theme of this whole special, well, 6-part miniseries. Not satisfying. Not satisfying. Was it enjoyable? At times, yes. The Angel episode, the Santaran episode, honestly, when it deals with villains that the Doctor has faced before, it was really good. It was really well done. But then when you're having more of a Chris Chibble needs to create things in his own mind, it falls flat. And that's not good. That is definitely not good. We've got to get Doctor Who back rolling. I hope Russell T Davies it is perfect timing for him to come in and kind of just hit the refresh button. Uh, I want to know how he can wrap stuff up and present things in a way that doesn't piss off a lot of people, because that's sort of what we got now. Is a lot of people are pissed off, a lot of people are confused, disappointed. That's mainly my feeling right now. I'm disappointed. There's so much love for the Doctor, and while there's moments of shining brightness, there's other moments it's like, what am I doing? I do have to say, I'm doing a lot of comparison to David Tennant tonight, but there's a reason. A lot of the lines felt like David Tennant lines, like when the Doctor's talking to Kate about the Centaurans going to corner stores, and she's like, well, wonder what. Oh, like the whole like, I don't know if it was the delivery with Jodie Whittaker. Jodie Whittaker still, she's doing the best job she can with what she got. But the way it was written, it just kind of felt David Tennant. And it is what it is. Was Flux worth it? I think I rather had a full season, because especially at the end, after the climax and we're just headed to the resolution, it was very rushed. She just kind of dropped off people like in a snap. It wasn't that satisfying. You got these little moments, and I know this is not like the last episode for Jodie Whittaker. We still have 3 specials, but that's the way it felt in a way. Like the whole dropping off the companions and sending them off, like those moments felt very much when David was going to see all of his past companions, and like they each got their own time. Again, like that's what it felt like. And it felt so different. And then when this episode, it felt like the wrap up just was that. It was just kind of a rehash with some new elements thrown in. Overall, I give this episode a 7 out of 10, but I give Flux as a whole a 5. It's very much average. It wowed me in moments, but it drastically disappointed me in others. So it just averages itself out. It was a very average 6 episodes. Like I would rather had a full series if moments sprinkled in to make it more satisfying at the end. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. I cover a bunch of different shows, and I'll see you guys in the comments below. Let me know what you thought of this episode and the series as a whole, and go check out my episode reviews for the entire 6-part miniseries right over there.